Let's go ahead and knock out our second homework of the year. Practicing problem solving. We're checking out rational, irrational numbers. As we can see here, it says, is 5.7877877778 a rational or irrational number? Now, remember, for it to be rational, it either has to terminate, which means it ends, or repeat. This may look like it's repeating because it's adding a 7 to it, but it isn't repeating the way we need it to. It should be 787878. So this is going to be an irrational number. And if I had to give a reason, I would say number does not, might want to write this a little bit smaller. Number does not terminate or repeat. All right. Let's go to number 9. Teacher places 7 cards, letters A through G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, on a table. Which cards show the irrational numbers? Irrational. Well, a 10 is a rational number. I can write it out. It terminates. 6/5 is a fraction that I can write that doesn't have a 0 at the bottom. So is 11/4. -7 is even a number that terminates. And 6.31, well, 31 repeats, and that's fine too. But pi does not. If you look at pi in a calculator, and put it in here, pi in a calculator actually goes on forever and does not repeat. So C would definitely be one of the answers there. And then E, if we look at it, 2, 5, 6, 3, 5, and keeps on going. These dots here indicate the number keeps going. So that means E would also be there. I like to think it very simply. Rational numbers can be written. Irrational numbers cannot be written because you would continue to write them and write them your whole life. And at the end of your life, you still won't finish writing that number. It would be an irrational request for me to ask you to write an irrational number. Okay? So let's go with number 11. Lisa writes the following list of numbers. Which numbers are rational? Well, we got 5.73773. I think we did something like this earlier, didn't we? We said that this is not a rational number, so which are irrational. That would be the 5.73773 repeating, or excuse me, going on forever. The next one was number 26. 26 is a rational number. It terminates. The square root of 45. Remember, for it to be rational, there has to be a square root number. Like if the number was 25, we know 5 times 5 makes 25. But there's no number multiplied to itself that equals 45. We know this by going to the calculator. If we put the square root sign, 45, and then square root it, we see it's 6.7, yada, 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 yada. It goes on forever. We'd never be able to finish writing that number. So another number that's irrational would be the square root of 45. 3/2, even -3/2, is a fraction that can be written that doesn't have 0 as a denominator, so that's fine. If we look at -3/2 in a calculator, let's see, 3/2, we see that we're going to get about 1.5, and that's a rational number. So -3/2 would also be a rational number. And then the number 0.9. Well, 0.9 terminates, didn't it? So 0.9 would be a rational number. I can write it out. These numbers would take me forever, and I would still never be able to go ahead and finish writing them. That is an irrational thing to do. But these numbers I can go ahead and write. So that's a rational request for me to expect you to be able to write these numbers out. All right, let's go to number 13. Is the square root of 1,815 rational? Once again, I can go to my calculator pretty fast and figure that out. 1,815 hit my square root sign, and I see that this number goes on. Let's see, it does not repeat. That means this is an irrational number. So I would say, is it rational? No, because it does not terminate or repeat. Simply put. All right, number 15, write the side length of the square rug as a square root. Write the side length of the square rug, and square means that whatever this is over here, all sides are the same, as a square root. Okay, is the side length a rational or irrational number? Well, the square root of 100 is pretty easy, because I know that 10 times 10 is 100. Right? So the side length, if the area is 100, then that means the side length is 10. That makes sense, because if this is 10 and this is 10, to find the area, I would multiply 10 times 10. That equals 100 square feet. So each of these must be 10 feet. All right. Is the side length a rational number? Yes. And explain. 10 terminates, right? The number 10 terminates. All right. Let's see, I think I'm on number, see, I did all the odd ones, right? Yeah. So I should be on number, wow, it looks like I'm already on number 17, the last one. That's a quick homework, huh? How are you thinking? You are given the expression, the square root of 76 plus n, and the square root of 2n plus 26. What is the smallest value of n that will make each number rational? To do this, I have to start thinking what numbers are bigger than 76, because I'm adding to 76. If I find the square root of it, will be a rational number. So off the top of my head, I'm going through my numbers. 5 times 5 is 25, 6 times 6 is 36, 7 times 7, 48, 8 times 8, 64, and then 9 times 9 is 81. So 81 is bigger than 76. So off the top of my head, I'm going to try that one. I'm going to try 81 minus 76. And that's going to give me a difference of 5. So let's say n is 5. If that's true, then over here, 2 times n would be 2 times 5 plus 26. Well, 2 times 5 is 10, and 10 plus 26 is 36. Now, I know that 81 was 9 times 9, right? Remember the square root of 81. The reason we did that is 9. And the square root of 36 is 6. So it doesn't say that the two numbers have to be the same. It simply asks that will make each a rational number. So I would say, what's the smallest value? N has got to be equal to 5. That's got to be the smallest value. All right, and that looks like all the homework for tonight. I'll see you in class, and we'll start a new lesson. This seems like as good a time as any to go ahead and stick in a code word. Now, I told you guys at the beginning of the year, every once in a while in your homework videos, I'm going to put a code word. And if you remember to write it in or on your homework page, that will enable you to go ahead and get a treat from me. What is the code word that I'm looking at? Well, I grabbed the first thing that's in front of me, and I'm looking at the bill that I've got from Lawn Masters. Okay. So right now, what I want everyone to do is write down the word lawn master. Sorry, it's lawn master. Okay, and if you have that written on your paper, I owe you a treat. All right. All right, guys. I hope that helps you better understand the lesson, and I'll see you in class. Later, guys.